Hi everyone, I'm Tam, and we're back with another motivational talk. Silence can heal. Silence, as in like just the absence of not really noise, just I guess people's intentions. To be more precise. For example, you kind of like take you take a walk around the beach, and you kind of walk far enough where other people's chatter become like kind of background noise, or you take a hike, walk up a mountain and you kind of just chill there for an hour or two, enjoy a picnic, or you kind of like practice mindfulness meditation in your car in the parking lot before you go to work and so on. Um, there's many different ways to, I guess, obtain some level of silence around your kind of environment. Earplugs, or I guess even on an airplane, when people are kind of sleeping during mid flight, yeah, you still kind of wake, you kind of just sit there, kind of chill a little bit, and silence can heal you because you have to come to terms with where you are right now. Yeah, whatever you're carrying previously could be like some kind of war trauma, like literally like you still have horrific experiences still kind of trapped in your mind, like seeing people get blown off, some of that too. That stuff doesn't really go away with you. It's kind of who you are, yeah, part of yourself. Whether or not it was your fault is not really the case anymore. You kind of have to move past it somehow to continue pursuing other endeavors that you have, on your list. So on, it's a hard thing to process, Or, for example, your girlfriend broke up with you pretty badly, and you still haven't really worked past it. You still kind of like, I guess, have feelings around it, and stuff that are kind of left loose, that yet you haven't really kind of wrapped up. So loose ends, or or you're in a very kind of like a terrible job that you is doesn't make you feel any better being in it. You get a paycheck, and that's about it. That's all this job has really amounted to you. Even the people you work with are not really your friend. So kind of terrible. So silence, you know, gives us the kind of room, the kind of environment to further look at our thoughts and emotions and feelings to really assess whether or not this is the right path to go down. It's what it is. It's no different than like taking a pause from like working out, exercising. Because when you're so deep in it, when you are hitting that gym very hard every day, it kind of becomes like a habit, and it may kind of do you in. So taking a pause and kind of like assessing, okay, let's take a pause and see how this actually affects my body, instead of like how I think it is affecting my body. Because sometimes the way you think it is working is not really the way it actually is working, and you may actually hurt yourself even more down the line. Yeah. Um, for example, you take like a for example, you smoke cigars. You smoke like one or two cigars before you have to give a presentation for a class or a business to help ease your nervousness, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job because you feel pretty less nervous, and also you feel kind of good, like kind of pumped up, and and so you kind of form a habit around this, like a kind of bandage for just for, I guess, fear of public speaking, which is a pretty big fear. So don't feel bad. Even I right now talking to you, still have a bit of, I guess, anxiety. Because I try to say things in a way that's kind of neutral and kind of like a kind of a neutral in terms of like I guess perspective, and hopefully kind of like a positive in a way that kind of lifts people up. But sometimes like I say a wrong vocabulary or word that may kind of trigger somebody else. So it's definitely is hard to be put on a spotlight and kind of like not step on somebody's toes, so to speak. Anyway, so you form a habit around it, and then so you kind of do this for I guess a few years, and then for you kind of you leave your job, or you move on to a different position where that no longer is the case. So now smoking is really not really crucial to your performance, at work. So you stop doing it, and then you kind of feel like 1 or 2 months in, you feel really good, and then you kind of realize, oh shoot, I was kind of like crippling my body, damaging my body doing that. Um, if I did not take a pause to see how this kind of affect me, like let the consequences catch up to where I am right now, to see whether or not this is actually a good thing. I would have probably continued to do that, and probably have some kind of serious health issues down the line. That like lung cancer or something incurable. At the moment. So that pause definitely helped me assess, kind of like see, okay, now I understand. Like now I realize what actually happened. So that kind of silence gives you the same kind of environment to kind of see that, see those kind of issues that you probably are aware of, consciously aware of. However, you haven't really sat down and kind of worked through. Um, unless you kind of like work through it, it's gonna stick with you. Like it's not gonna go away. The mind is not a toxic tool. It is trying to solve issues so that it doesn't happen to you again, and and also to do it to somebody else. For example, if your parents bully you, one of your parents bully you, and then you start to bully somebody else, like you're just perpetuating that chain. So your mind wants to figure out how I stop this happening to me, and also how do I stop myself from doing it to somebody else. So silence gives you kind of environment to do that in, and kind of like start to look at this kind of deeper, with your kind of like with your kind of lens. So you sit in silence for like an hour, or I guess half an hour. Doesn't matter if I guess you closing your eyes, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess I guess if you close your eyes, it can be a bit easier to get into the kind of like I guess to get into that kind of mode. Like the kind of like I guess um, uh, um, the kind of like I guess driver mode that the most Formula One drivers do. When they have to perform like high maneuvers, you have to be very kind of attentive. You can definitely close your eyes and do something similar to mindfulness meditation to ease yourself into that kind of state. If it helps you, not really required. The point is that you kind of have enough silence and kind of room from kind of like stuff that kind of like I guess noise, so to speak, so you can actually look at this. And it may take you a few, I guess, a few like months, or maybe even years, depending on how much is going on. It's really no different than trying to figure out why a certain biological mechanism is happening. For example, why does consuming chili cause your gut to be inflamed? This is because from the first step of ingestion to the inflammation in your stomach. There's a lot going on. Perhaps the saliva in your tongue is like reacting with a certain molecule in a chili pepper. Perhaps like the chili pepper experiences a certain like I guess changing temperature as it goes down your kind of throat to your esophagus. Perhaps some kind of like specific kind of like fluid inside the gut acid reacts this way. And so there's many different things, many different like moving parts. So it may take you a few months to a few years to kind of like see all of that. And once you see all of that, you are essentially free. Because once you see how this kind of works, you realize that okay, okay, if this person is starting to behave this way, that means this person is most likely going to turn to violence or whatever. So let me just walk out right now. So you prevent yourself from falling prey to that. And two, now that I see how it works, I can not do it to other people, because once I start to act a certain way, I'm going to realize, oh, I'm pretty close to taking this action. So let me just kind of pause right now.